Back in the late 90s, we were losing thousands of jobs to globalization around the world in the petrochemical sector, the energy sector. And as a community, we hit rock bottom.
We're not just competing here in Yorkton with other communities in Saskatchewan. We're competing across the world.
It's the oil industry, and people say, oh, we got to stop burning oil. The oil industry is what is going to allow us to transition. And if we don't have that, how would we ever fund the transition?
We're very ag-based in our city, but we have many people in Yorkton that are involved in industry work. And that not just provides for Yorkton, it provides for the whole region. We have 2 major canola crush plants in Yorkton. Those plants, one of the things that they require is a great deal of water, but they also need that energy to be able to produce. And our city needs the energy to keeping our water and our wastewater plants running at efficiently and all the time.
Energy is an issue. Between hydro rates and natural gas price increases, people are having to make choices, and difficult choices, when they're trying to feed their families and deal with their energy bills and pay their rent or their mortgages. So energy is always a factor.
It does make the cost of living fairly difficult for people here, especially those heating their homes with oil. It's a challenge for them. So in terms of jobs, the oil industry has been very good for the city. I tell people, if you look at us being reliant on oil as an economy, our GDP goes ebbs and flows as the production of oil and the price of oil ebbs and flows. And if you look around the city, we're reliant on the oil industry. Although we don't have an oil rig in our area, you'll see offices of various oil companies here in the city, and you'll also see supply ships tied up in the harbour regularly as they go back and forth to deal with the offshore.
At first, it was a real struggle trying to advocate for Line 5 because the message was a bit mixed. But when we focused on the added 5,000 value jobs that exist right from Sarnia because of that line, the propane that goes to Quebec farmers, the propane that goes to northern Michigan, what comes from that line took it away from being just a pipeline. In this case, it was, no, this is what this does for Canada. Every drop of product that comes out of that pipeline creates a job.
There's a feeling out there that if you support the oil industry, or if you understand you don't care about the climate, well, you can be concerned about both, but it has to be done orderly. The biggest problem with the economies is shocks to the economy. So if you shock the economy really quickly, usually the impacts can be positive for some, but for far more, they're adverse.
We saw that in Ontario, where some of the energy changes 10, 15 years ago had a devastating impact on the manufacturing sector. So we're very sensitive to that as an energy hub. Consistency of policy and an understanding that the whole energy portfolio needs to be respected, and to look at where we want to go in 5, 10, 15 years, and without excluding, without any, I'll point to natural gas as one of those examples. That's not the way to build a strong economic energy future for us. And that seems to be lost.
All orders of government really have to start understanding what the needs are at the municipal level, because we can offer that up in a minute. We know what those needs are. And to keep sustainable, we need assistance. And we're not offering to do nothing. And it may take longer than first thought of, but how can you do that without understanding where you need to go, how you need to get there, what the costs are, and who do you need to work with?
We can talk about, the cost of this and the cost of that, but you can't have a business operate here if you can't power the company to work here.
I don't believe that any government has handled, at least at the provincial level, has handled this file well. They've jumped from this position to this position, and I talked to the numerous flip-flops on different issues. So we deal with we're the collateral damage. Municipalities are the collateral damage when governments make policy without talking to us and listening to us about how this could be effective.
The conversations around affordability, around this transition are always going to be needed, because I would say to you, and from my municipality, what we find is you have a start point, but that end point is forever moving.
So we are going through that transition. But we also, I think, have to recognize that there will always be oil burnt. Like, we're not going to move completely off oil. There will always be a market for oil. And we have a very low carbon product in Newfoundland, Labrador. And, if you're going to burn oil, you should burn ours, because that's really, in a nutshell, that we see this as going to be always part of our economy.
Our municipalities here in Saskatchewan are always looking at the best way we can provide services to all our residents and to our businesses and to our industry. Long term, we have to have a significant, sufficient amount of energy to keep doing that.
If you're going to make changes in energy policy, make them consistent, make them lasting, and talk to people before you do them.
It's probably the one area that touches not only every business, but every individual in the province. And therefore, it should be of top of mind for everyone to ensure that securing the future energy is the best way that we can secure our own future.